Fantastic to see you again. A film about a visionary woman gathering a compassionate community with shared heart, and that's just you. What has it been like gathering such an amazing troupe, an ensemble, to bring this story to life?
Oh, it's such a joy and a privilege to get to cast a film like this, because all of the characters are so important and they have to work so closely together. They really, the thought behind the ensemble of this film was that almost every scene, when I turn to do, for example, Amanda's coverage, and it's a scene where mostly she is speaking, the entire group is surrounding her at all times. So there's so many moments, but even if you don't have any lines, you're always performing and you're always working together. So we started out really early on doing a lot of rehearsals together, a lot of workshops and dance rehearsals and singing rehearsals and improvisational, exercises, so that they could all get really unified and work together. And then they had, it was a joy to sort of also put together kind of an eclectic group of performers. Some people are incredible singers, some people are great movers, some people don't do any of it or thought they didn't do any of it, but still delivered some beautiful work. So it was really wonderful. Felt so lucky to have them all.
And it's obviously not a shaker recruitment video. I don't think it's going to inspire anybody to become celibate, but there's so much that's relevant in it and feels connected. So what kind of feedback are you kind of hoping that you'll receive from people who've seen the film and connected to it?
Well, I think that a lot of people, I've spoken to many different people about the film, from different, some people who have a strong relationship to faith, who are quite religious. I've had very interesting conversations with them about their relationship to their God and their faith. So that's one conversation. Another conversation is, of course, about immigration in America right now, freedom of speech and equality, and then social equality as well. And so I think that, and then there's the other conversation about, so many female historical figures that have been overlooked in history, and making sure that we carve out place for them and that we talk about them and we lift them up into the light and have conversations with them, because it's important to know that we are standing on their shoulders as well. So it's, for me, when I make a film, I try not to really pass judgment on my characters. I try to keep it open. I try to have it be an exploration throughout the entire process, and then my hope is that the audience will continue that conversation. And that's how it will continue to be alive, and that's the whole point of making it for me, really.
Of all the actors I've spoken to, they've loved the environment that you created on set. So how do you do that, given that you have a restricted budget and you have costumes to make and locations to build, while still making your characters feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable in the way they need to?
Oh, it's crucial for me to create that environment, and that is not very hard. That is not very difficult to create a good environment. I grew up on set. I was a child actor. I worked in soap operas back in Norway as a teenager. I've spent, thousands of hours on set, and I know what different sets can feel like, and I know what I needed to feel safe and to do good work when I was a child. So I just, I tried to create a really specific, strong, clear, directions and framework for my performance to work within. And within that, I tried to give a lot of freedom. And then I tried to keep a really warm and positive environment. I think that's important too. So, that is easy. If you make a strong plan, you know what you want. It's like it's a bit like parenting. It's a bit like mothering, if you want to be meta. But yeah, applying the same techniques and ideas.
And just lastly, how do you see the state of women in filmmaking? Because sometimes it seems we make progress and then there's pushbacks. But how do you view it for those both behind and in front of the camera? I have my daughter on camera for me today. So how do you see that progressing, and where are we at?
Well, I've only ever existed within the independent world of filmmaking. I think that I think that there is so much film and content being made that's mass produced, that it's just the same thing over and over again, and that's sort of spewed out, and it doesn't have any love or meaning behind it. But then there is always a counterculture of people making radical, interesting art. Most of those, those films are probably not from a little bit from the outside of the Hollywood machinery, but those voices are there, and they're always there, and there's always people. There's a lot of people who want to come and make movies with weirdos like me and tell stories that every single studio on paper would say, hell no, I'm not interested in this story. Like, don't Shaker musical, no thank you. But then I make it, and then I get this wonderful partner, Searchlight, come on board and put so much love behind releasing that into the world. So just find a way to make it, and then hopefully you'll find a home.
Well, I can't wait for everybody to see it. Congratulations. It's lovely to see you again.
It's so nice to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!